WIFT PM.
You know, I'm from the middle of the map. I get around, I've been there and back. Born in Gary, Indian, just to be exact. Got family in the go and family in the nap. Same shit everywhere, saw it in the A out on Old Nat. Sucker free suckers can't take the heat, nah they gon' rap. Big dumb cats, big guns clap. Another brother dead, another mother son lack. I'm from the era where the niggas did scrap. Seen the same person shot with two different straps. You don't want this, now you don't want that. Tired of fuck shit, wanna take a nap. I'm a dog on these chicks, just a different cat. Must make at least a M to make an impact. Made just paint the Benz matte black. Fresh head to toe, never wore socks that didn't match. Cause I'm from the middle of the map. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. I'm from the middle of the map. Nigga, I get around, I've been there and back. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. I'm from the middle of the map. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. I get around, I've been there and back. Check, I'm from the middle of the map. I get around, I've been there and back. Born in Gary, Indian, just to be exact. Got family in the go and family in the nap. Talking money, shit hit my jack. If it don't make sense, shit I can sense that. Blowing big loud, never the mid-pack. See you talk, that's just big cap. Nigga, I walk the walk with graduation hats. Fuck your opinion, nigga, in fact. You fuck my bitch, shit, I tip my hat. Now she dead to me, can't bring her back. Play the game, play the field, never been set. Bulls game flow seats just like my Benz mats. Blunt to my lips, gun on my hip, her project pack. Act not my cup of tea, rather sip some yak. Cause I'm from the middle of the map. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. I'm from the middle of the map. Look, I get around, I've been there and back. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. I'm from the middle of the map. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. Look, I get around, I've been there and back. I'm from the middle of the map. We ride big Chevys, big Cadillacs. I'm from the middle of the map.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
Peace, everybody out there. What's going on? This is Eugene McIntosh, one half of the illest independent sports media outlet in the whole entire land, the Bigs. Check me and my player partner, Terrence Tomlin, a.k.a. T-Tom the Great, out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media Network.
We all remember our life before COVID-19. The parades, the lakefront barbecues, taste of Chicago, the happy hours, and most importantly, loving those unforgettable moments with our friends and families. Getting Chicago vaccinated is what will make the activities we miss safe for everyone. So let's get back to it, Chicago. Let's come together to end this pandemic. Find your vaccine at chi.gov/COVIDvax.
Chris the Critic Relationship Hour with Gina B. Why you are not married. Number one, you ain't all that. I know that's hard for y'all to swallow. I don't look as good as my 22-year-old self. People need to realize that. You just ain't all that. And I get it. I got this master's degree. I went to this school, that school. I worked hard for this job, for this house. And then she over there got that man. And you don't have one. Men are very simple creatures. So Ladies, for you very accomplished ladies, I got some advice for them.
What's that?
I always say it like this. You can write this one down. Be a kitten, not a cat. What does that mean, Chris?
What does that mean?
You ever played with a kitten? It's real friendly. It almost acts like a puppy. And you want to play with it. You want to look at the little kitty. It just makes you feel good. Now, have you ever seen an adult cat? When it feels like it might rub against your leg and move away. But it's that men like kittens.
Kittens will play with anybody. A cat is particular.
Listen, what did we learn? Men are very simple creatures.
Right.
You can fool us. We want you to laugh at our dumb jokes. So all you super smart women out there, you good-looking women, you see a guy you like, you guys do make it out on a date. He actually pays for the date. When you're actually with that person, the dialogue is happening, the dinner is happening. You say, okay, this might work, this might work. It would help if you act a little blind.
Oh my God, Becky.
I mean, you're going to hear me say that a lot. I mean, be nice to
So
him. You hear the worst joke ever, but if you sort of like them, laugh at it. There you go. Hey, it's a lot of married women out there. If we got any married women chiming in.
Look,
if I'm telling a lie,
that one's a fake laugh.
let me know. Right.
What you're saying is that we should cater to the male ego, and that's what's ultimately going to get us married.
I'm first saying recognize that I think some of us, more women than men, look in the mirror. You ever seen a little lion look in the mirror and see somebody real big? They see somebody a little more fine than what they are. And I'm not calling anybody ugly, so I'm not here to bash anybody.
Let's look at Middle America, okay? Middle America is not attractive.
They're not?
Middle America is largely married.
Okay, I think we're on the same page then. People sort of, we get stuck to reality shows sometime and think we're supposed to have, I got a degree in a house, so I'm supposed to have Idris Elba or his twin.
Well, I mean, have you noticed, okay, so you remember your friends from high school, right? And you remember how they had all of these qualifications for, if she's going to lock me down, she got to be this, that. She's got to have an ass like that.
That's all we really looked at. Stop right there. That's really what are men? Simple creatures. We want to be fed. We want you to laugh at us, give us some, and that's it. To get us.
Reach the ruler. This is Week Ho Wednesday, and to my right is Everybody's Women Crush Wednesday. My co-host, the one and only Toy. It goes, love this show, y'all. I'm dealing with a guy. We have been dating for 9 months. In light of everything going on in the world, he has been voicing his opinion about situations, and I don't agree with any of his views. I love everything else except his opinions.
Damn.
How do I fix this? FYI, he's white.
It's about to be a white boy summer.
So could that be the issue?
For sure. Just come out different when it's not coming from your own race. It's just never been something I'd be like, I date Bill.
I'm just a Bill. Yes, I'm only a Bill.
I don't really like light-skinned guys. I don't like pink meat.
Pink, so it's like you see it.
Pink tip, it be pink.
It be pink on the tip.
I don't like
So have a light-skinned guy have a dark tooth.
And then it look dark, so it's not as off to me. I feel like it's supposed to be pink because they light-skinned, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want it to be dark because then I'm going to say you dirty.
I don't know what the fuck be making niggas think they can fuck with me. Stay with a small circle to ensure I stay sucker free. Peace to the niggas rockin' those that truly got love for me. To the women that be lustin' me, they dreamin' of fucking me. Lick your fingertips and rub your clitoris and let my voice bring you to climax. My raps is more real than any 3D or IMAX. Listen and digest this fly shit like Venus flytraps. Side-eye niggas that speak on my city, you Chirac. Niggas love glorifying stupid shit, the useless shit in front of cameras, goofy capping, act as if you used to shit. With Max producing shit, how could I fall short? I hit the booth and get the kicking shit of all sorts. Listen, I'm just a product of the inner city. I remember plenty nights there wasn't any lights and with no dinner in me. I was in tune with the harsh realities of life at an early age. Was used to struggle at an early stage. That made me appreciate the small shit. So now I kick that off the wall shit that leave these rapping niggas all sick. They say jealousy and envy get you nowhere, so I'd rather not go there. These niggas panic when I touch mics, I'm Rudy Gobert. I ain't the type to talk jazzy while hiding behind a screen naming Abby. You pushing buttons or trying to get at me, huh? I'm John Wick with the shit. I'm killing everything while bitches sleeping on me. I'm setting fire to bed frames, replacing alarm clocks with time bombs to bomb spots. This onslaught's for certain. These other niggas is long shots. Dousing your mattress in gasoline. It's asinine to try to find a rapper that rap is mean. I haven't seen a rap nigga that worry me yet. So far ahead of my time, I got fans that ain't heard of me yet. I'm not the nigga you should step to disrespectful. If I address you, won't be no rescue. They gon' have to dress you in a black suit and some dress shoes. Unless you suicidal or glutton for punishment, I'll never choose the rival the motherfuckers I'm running with.
We fun guy.
Where's tomorrow?
Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, yo, what do you know?
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be telling you.
What's going on, Chicago? What's in it for the Black People Media presents?
I want to go higher. Oh, my. Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors.
The Bigs, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Eugene, McIntosh, and Terrence Tomlin. We got what you need right here on What's in it for the Black People Media.
WIFTVPM.
Live from What's in it for the Black Media Studio, you're listening to The Bigs with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin.
Let's begin now.
They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size. It's the bigs, it's the bigs. They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size. It's the bigs, it's the bigs. They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size. It's the bigs, it's the bigs. They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size.
WIFTVPM.
Live from What's in it for the Black Media Studio, you're listening to The Bigs with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin.
Let's begin now.
They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size. It's the bigs, it's the bigs. They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size. It's the bigs, it's the bigs. They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size. It's the bigs, it's the bigs. They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size.
What's good, everybody? You know what time it is. It is time to rock with the Bigs, the illest independent sports media outlet in the land. Time to get your sports fix live from the West End for the Black People Media Studios. You know what it is. I'm your man T-Time coming to you with my brother Gino. What's good?
Yes, what's the Benoski?
It's all good, man. Feeling good on this hump day. You know I got to get over this Wednesday to get to the weekend, bro. I cannot wait for it. But you know we got to talk about the latest in the sports world. The Atlanta Hawks got a W last night. Another NBA star may be on the shelf, bruh.
Oh, ain't no maybe.
You see, I just had to take that gas, bruh. It's like another one, bruh. Another one bites the dust. This time, Giannis from the Milwaukee Bucks. And Gino, full disclosure, I just told you, you may have to update me on everything that went on last night. I was away from the sports world. Shout out to my father who celebrated a birthday yesterday. Beautiful time with him. So he actually successfully pulled me away from not just the Eastern Conference Finals, but from the White Sox, the Cubs. He was like, today is my day. Come mess with me. So we did that.
Shout out to Pops, man. You know that's my boy.
Ditto. You know he love you back, bro. But yeah, Gino. So, let me know what goes on, because I didn't see to this morning that Giannis was facing a serious injury. The Bucks think he may have torn an ACL. And
let's make sure that I know. I'm pretty sure we'd have gotten an update by now. But
just look at the Clippers. Kawhi, he went down 5 days ago. 5-6 games ago, and we haven't gotten an update since then. So
the latest is the Bucks fear Giannis suffered a severe ACL injury,
which would suck beyond measure.
If you look around obviously around the league this year, injury plague.
Trae Young didn't play last night.
But I'm saying if you look around the final four left, no Trae Young, no Giannis, no Kawhi, wasn't no Chris Paul to kick it off, and there wasn't no Devin Booker.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the mask game. So
period. It's
really not a good look for the NBA. As far as Adam Silver is concerned, but gotta play on. The Hawks, so I remember I don't know who it was this year. Was it Milwaukee? I remember, or it might have been Golden State. I'm not sure who it was, but I remember Lou Will, he dropped a 50-pack early on this season. So when we found out that Trey wasn't going to play, like an hour, maybe 45 minutes before the tip, I'm thinking to myself, this is a perfect storyline for the Hawks. Lou Will, a vet, a guy who we know can continue to get buckets with the best of them. All he's going to do is step in and just fill that void. Now, is he Trey Young? No, but is he Lou? Is he Lemon Pepper Lou? Of course he is. So Lou, all he had to do was be the vet that he is, step in and just do him, not overdo it. He can run a team. He knows how to run a team. It was his first playoff start. And, man, he was like 7 for his first 7, wasn't forcing the ball. They was swinging it. And it was just, from Milwaukee's standpoint, it was just a very uninspired effort.
It had to be.
Come out.
You get dubbed by the Trey Young.
Oh, they was down.
Hawks.
They was almost down a 30-pack.
Yeah, bro.
But, when it's that type of game, when you got that best player out, this is when you come in and you put your foot on their throats and don't let them get up.
You got to smell blood.
I was about to give a bogus, but I'm going to keep that. But, yeah, man, it was just very uninspiring. Giannis didn't come out and impose his will like he did in Game 4 when, it was a must-win. He was taking jump shots. He took a 3 in the first quarter. The best part of the game, though, by far, was Giannis at the free. So he shot 2 air ball free throws.
I saw those, yep.
But the crowd was having a grand old time counting.
The way they count down on man Giannis, bro.
And he shot 2, all mental. It's like, first of all, no NBA player should shoot air balls from the free throw line. But then he shot another one, and he shot an air ball 3 in like the first quarter. That's when I knew it was over. It's like this guy is shooting threes in the first quarter. So
he thought it was going to be.
He thought it was sweet.
Did Cam Reddish play last?
Cam Reddish got his second piece of action. Remember, He played in what was that, Game 4 yesterday?
Yeah, that was Game 4 yesterday.
Yeah, so he got his first piece of action in Game 3. He looked good, just trying to find his way. This guy who ain't played. It's his first playoff action, second year in the league, was hurt a lot. You got to give credit to Lloyd Pierce for kind of letting Cam Reddish kind of take his lumps and continue to grow.
Yeah.
And I think now it's paid off for him because he didn't look.
He came right in.
He didn't look
what
scared.
His role was.
Yeah, he didn't look scared. Cam Reddish is a scorer, so he came in looking to score the ball. He hit a couple threes, played inspired. You just follow the lead. It's like when your leader comes. So I'm saying Lou Will was the leader last night. Lou Will has the most 21, 8, and 5 or something, but just
straight feeling.
Being a vet, being a guy who's seen it all in the league, being a guy that was. Remember, he was going to retire. Remember earlier in the season, he was about to retire.
Yeah, when he got traded, he was like, "Look, is this what I want to do?" And it turns out that the Hawks were one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference.
Come on, man.
So
give props to Lemon Pepper Lou, but he led the troops. Bogdanovich had he was like 6 of 13, 6 of 14 from 3.
Huge, bro.
Just a total team effort. John Collins and Kevin Werder and Clint Capella even hit a Larry Bird type fade away from behind the backboard. I
saw that.
Then he ended up getting hurt. He caught an elbow to the eye.
I was about to say I saw that.
So I'm not sure what the update on Clint Capella is.
I saw him tweet. That's how I found out Giannis was hurt. Because Clint Capella tweeted thoughts and prayers to Giannis. I'm like, what the hell?
Okay. Let me see if there's a Clint Capella update. But yeah, he went down with an elbow to the face, and they took him to the locker room. It looked pretty bad.
Bruh, it's up. The Eastern Conference and the championship is up for grabs, bruh. I guess I want to ask you: does the fact that does a potential Atlanta Hawks Phoenix Suns finals does it take away from? Like, is it weird? Is it just a product of the postseason this year and the injuries? Is that how we have to look at this, or is it just a straight coming out party for guys like Trae Young or Devin Booker, who one of them may be an NBA champion? And you're talking about both of those guys being in their first first ever playoff run.
Man, to be honest with you, I think you got to look at it both ways. As a casual fan, of course you're going to look at it like, well, yeah, if LeBron and AD was, and Kawhi was still here and everybody was fully healthy, the Phoenix Suns, who knows? Like, they're a formidable opponent. They played great basketball all year. The Atlanta Hawks, I think, they've played great basketball since the acquisition of Nate McMillan, but I do think, if Brooklyn was fully healthy, Brooklyn would probably be the favorite. I still think the Bucks, well, not without Giannis.
Exactly.
But
yes.
I would have to say it's a mix of both. The fans would probably say that, but if I'm the Atlanta Hawks or I'm the Bucks or the Suns or whoever, it's like, hey, man, we play who's in front of you, bro. We can't worry. Everybody's had some type of injury, some more extensive than others, star-wise.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the injuries have been to the stars of the team. So I guess you got to look at it both ways, man. It's crazy, but the Hawks Suns definitely sounds kind of mid.
It's like he said sounds mid. It definitely sounds like one of those simulated NBA finals on 2K or something. It's like, damn, the Suns and the Hawks made the finals on the simulated season. But
like G Money just said, it is what it is, man. Let's celebrate who's still playing.
Facts. And I feel like there's no way, you know me, you know what I mean? There's no way you can discredit a championship.
Even that bubble championship last year, people are still talking about the bubble championship.
And I was thinking about it yesterday because I saw a picture of the Morris twins. And you seen his brother. They was wondering if they had pulled the switcheroo because they both came LA Clippered out. And the only way you can tell the difference is that one I think it was Markieff had on his Lakers championship ring from last year.
Okay.
But he came in his brother's jersey with a Clippers hat on and red, white, and blue.
Okay.
I was like, gee, did they switch and have the other brother play real quick?
Because
it had me looking at the tats, bro. Like, I was really I'm like, gee, do they have the same tats?
They are the same guy.
They have, I don't know if it's the same tats, but they have like the same amount of tats on each arm. Like, it's a break in the tats on the left arm. I'm like, gee, they may have pulled the switcheroo out here under the twin act.
The old whoppy.
It's like, come on, y'all. But I know one thing, that championship ring is not a fluke, okay? That Lakers championship ring was absolutely beautiful. So I feel like, of course, that's for the fans to debate, but I don't think anybody in the league would feel like the Lakers didn't earn that. And I feel like the circumstances were different in the sense of it helped the Lakers be healthier. You know what I mean? It helped AD get a full postseason in, which you see, once we kind of got back to more of a normal thing, even though it was still kind of convoluted. He couldn't stay healthy, and I feel like that was the knock on Anthony Davis. You didn't have to deal with that in the bubble, and it helped the Lakers. I don't think you put an asterisk by it, but I definitely feel like you got to look at the postseason and the way that the Heat went out, the Lakers went out. A lot of the teams that played deep into the bubble last year didn't really look like they had that same you dig this time around. And I know it's probably the cool thing to say, yeah, that championship didn't matter, whatever. But
right.
Like I said, I can't discredit the championship.
I'm the Lake Show. You can discredit it all you want. That Larry O'Brien and his championship ring and his banner.
Look at that banner up there, fam.
Straight up.
What's good, DJ?
DJ back.
He back there.
Back there handling
doing this
business.
thing. Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt.
But yeah, man, 2 up. Atlanta and Milwaukee. Interesting. They said it was a hyperextension. If you saw so you haven't seen the play?
I haven't seen the play, no.
So yeah, if you see the play, it looked bad.
It did look bad.
It looked bad, but
okay.
it was the hyper. You know how the hyperextension.
Yeah, exactly.
He went up to contest the Clint Capella alley-oop.
It came down wrong.
It came down like his knee went in back. So it's a hyperextension. Best thing about it was he did get up and walked off on his own. He wasn't carried. Well, they helped him off a little bit. His brother ran his AA, which was great. I loved it. His brother was like, "Hey man, like this is my brother. We came from nothing." You know what I'm saying? I got him. Let me take him to the back.
This is the support system. Yeah.
So he kind of helped him to the back. Giannis he walked on his own, but his brother had him. So he helped him to the back, and then he basically handed him to the trainers.
Wow.
Like, man, y'all like here, take him.
Yeah,
man.
go look at him.
So it was cool to see him walk off on his own. But
Giannis is a tough dude.
the man came back on the floor, bro. When he walked off and then came back to the bench, and I'm like, bro, if he goes back in the game, well, they was down the dub, so it was like, bro, don't even try it. If you thought you can
come back in,
take it easy.
He tried to come back in the game.
Well, he came back to the bench. Like if you do that, you go to the line and it's over with.
Yeah.
He walked back out to the bench, and I'm telling CP, like, if this dude checks back in the game, he's Robo Man. And they was down the dub. So I'm like, maybe he just came out to show face, let his team know he was good.
He was probably trying to get in that game. He's probably looking at Bud like, I got something. It's better than nothing. And Bud, it's probably a situation where the coach is like, nah, we got to save you from yourself. You're out for the game.
And it was down a dub, so it was no reason.
Yeah.
It was the pendulum swung. I think they went on like a 12-2 run when Giannis went out. They went up a dub, and then it was over with from there. So
see, that's the thing about the Hawks, bruh. They will smell blood. You feel me? Like they'll be like, oh, Giannis is out. Oh, now we even. Now it's the others versus the others.
Right.
You know? But man, even before that, I guess they was killing Gino. But just wanted to say something about Giannis real quick. I feel like any discussion about his game, of course, is fair. But man, he's one of the most likable players at the top of the league in a while. You know what I mean? Like it's hard not to like Giannis, especially when you hear his story and you, like you said, his brother being here with him and for him to come and just learn and basically get adopted by this game of basketball and for him to turn it into what he's been able to turn it into, it's definitely special. So I'm definitely hoping that injury, I hope he's pulling a Jose Abreu. You feel me? Hopefully it looks bad, but he's all good, you know?
Yeah, I would be surprised if he's available for Game 5. If he is, like I said, that's Robo Man. There's just no way that happens, that injury happens, and he's able to play. Obviously, he won't be 100%, but like you said, this is a guy who every night he's going to come out and put it all on the line. Even though last night I felt like he didn't come out with the necessary energy and aggressiveness. Because like I said, when y'all found out Trae Young was out, it was supposed to be a straight just throttle. They were supposed to turn it up full throttle. And Atlanta, when I turned it on, because I was watching the Cubs. So when I switched back, because I think Cubs started at 7, game started at 7:30. So by the time I turned the TV on, it was 13-2. And then I'm like, wait a minute. So I watched like the next few possessions up and down the floor, and I'm like, oh, the Hawks got this one. Like Chris Middleton, it's like, is Chris Middleton going to be Kobe one night or is he going to be Ben Simmons?
If that's the spectrum, that's too wide of a spectrum.
Or Wesley Matthews. That's even
that's
no disrespect to my boy
like,
Wes.
But Ben Simmons?
Yeah, but you feel, is he gonna be Kobe Bean or is he gonna be Wesley Matthews, bro? It's like, come on, Chris.
It's true
Middleton.
though. Like if you look at Chris Middleton, he'll drop 30 for you one night and then he'll drop 13.
He gone missing.
Giannis went out. You supposed to take control of the game, just like how Paul. If you look at Paul George, when Kawhi first went out, it was a little shaky. But I guess now he like, I'm
locked in.
Swinging. I'm taking 40 shots. If you say I'm the man, I'm taking 40 shots and we going down.
But you gotta also, but don't forget, Paul George was the man before. Chris Middleton ain't never really been the man like that. So now that Giannis is gone, it's like, I mean, even before Giannis was gone, the Bucks was they were done. But when Giannis went out, I feel you. Chris Middleton was supposed to step his game up, even if they still lost the game. He was supposed to go out gunslinging, and that man went missing. He was on the back of the milk carton.
Right after the night that he just outscored
the Hawks team.
The next day, Stephen they deeming him the real Batman. The close of it, you getting all these high praises, and you come out there the next day with no Trae Young, like you said, man. You supposed to whoop them boys with ease, like you know what I'm saying. That's a wrap. And then you come out there and you
lay an egg.
So
they laid an egg, bro.
DJ, I'm glad you brought up Paul George, bro, because it actually put another idea / question in my mind on the topic of clicking up. Because
click ups.
Because this Paul George we've been seeing, it just reminded me that he was third in MVP voting a couple seasons ago.
In where? In Indiana or OKC?
This was in OKC.
Okay.
And then we know what he did in Indiana, and then he basically clicks up with Kawhi, kind of accepts a lesser role in Los Angeles. But now we get to see basically Paul George as the guy again, and he's totally, I feel like, playing like he can carry a team. And it made me wonder, like, why did Paul George feel like he needed to be anybody's Robin? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he should have his own squad, you know, with somebody else. And, you know, it made me kind of feel how you feel, you know? It's like, man, these guys, I remember watching tape of Glenn Robinson, and this was like, I was watching NBA TV. One of their hardwood classics.
The big dog, Glenn Robinson.
The big dog, Joe. And it was on
that might be one of
night.
the coldest nicknames.
Oh, the big dog? Come on.
But go ahead.
And he played like it. You know what I mean?
Was GDN to the fullest, too.
Let me tell you. So they interviewed him, and they asked him about getting drafted to the Bucks and then being the worst team in the NBA and all of this. And he told it straight up. He was like, I don't care. He was like, because my goal is to take my team from last to first, from last to glory. You know what I mean? And that's totally not that's not the mindset of most players anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's the click up, the AAU era, man. They homies. They played together all growing up. They talk during the summer, and they click up. And I mean, whatever, it's cool. But I agree with you. It's like, so let's take it somewhere else. So obviously you didn't see the post game and then NBA on TNT last night.
Nah.
So they, you know, the Clippers beat writers and the reporters, so they continue to harp on Paul George and the scrutiny that he's had, pandemic P and all of this stuff. So, and it's cool. I like Paul George. He's just like, man, it's cool.
It's
it comes with the territory.
He has to like face that. Like, you know, people call you
night,
pandemic P, right?
Every night it's the same thing. So he's like, man, it's cool. You know, it comes with the territory. I just do me. I play my game. I know how much I put into the game. Da 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 da. So then they go to Boogie Cousins and Marcus. Is Marcus on the Clippers or Marquise?
We need to confirm.
One of the Morris brothers.
I got completely confused looking at that picture.
I think it's Marcus. I think Keith is on the Lakers.
Okay.
It's Marcus?
Yeah.
So they asked Marcus Morris, and he was just like, man, I'm tired of, people talking about pandemic P and playoff P and da-da-da-da-da, man. People don't know how hard he works. Y'all need to stop the shenanigans. Then Boogie Cousins came in.
Who was playing out of,
Yeah, he had a very good game.
Well, he had 20 points in like 15.
I think he had 15 points in like 12 minutes.
Yeah, bro, he's playing.
So he came out and he was like, man, Joe, y'all need to put some respect on these players' names. You know what I'm saying? Pandemic P. Same thing, basically.
Facts.
Y'all tripping, da-da-da-da-da. He was tight, though. And, you know Boogie Cousins is one of them guys who wears his emotion.
Boogie is always tight.
Yeah, he is. But he was, so it immediately switched to NBA on TNT. And Charles Barkley was not for it. Because I'm...
With DeMarcus Cut?
None of that. He was like, let me tell you something. It comes with the territory. He was like, all great players get criticized, bro. He was like, these guys. When it came back to NBA on TNT, Charles was like, these guys, man.
Shaq was over. The generational shift.
Shaq was over there crying, laughing. And he like, what's up, Chuck? And Chuck like, man, these guys, man, he like, they so soft, man. He's like, man, Joe.
Damn.
All great players have been criticized, bro. He was like, Michael, Larry, Magic, I get criticized on this set for not being a champion. He was like, Shaq got criticized.
Kobe, LeBron.
Everybody, bro. He was like, well, Barkley was like, man, I remember Mike dropped the 63 on in the Garden. They was like, yeah, that's great, but he a selfish player. He can't win. He don't make nobody better. Chuck like, man, I still get it because I ain't got no ships. He's like, I can go down the line. Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing, Shaq, Kobe. He was like, every great player has gotten criticized at some point in their career. It comes with the territory. He was like, man, these guys, he was tight. He was like, man, y'all got to stop that. He's like, y'all soft, and that's what's wrong with the NBA now. And I was like, yeah, I kind of agree with him. But back to Paul Pierce said it. He was like, man, it's cool. It comes with the territory. But I know what I do, and I know the work that I put in and what I'm capable of. So I was kind of in between with it, but I was glad that Chuck came out and said that, because it's like, and I understand what Boogie and Marcus Morris are doing. They just looking out for their guy. But at the same time, it's like, bro, this is what, like you said, T, this is what I expect from you remember when we went to Indiana to cover that game?
Facts.
Paul George was my dog. I love the man in Indiana's.
That's facts. You know,
I don't know what happened.
We was definitely on the court talking about PG.
Dude, right. My PG. Remember I
yes.
did the PG? I'm like,
yes.
So I this is totally what I've expected from Paul George.
You know what, Gino? I feel like it is kind of strange how the athletes of today, especially in the NBA, deal with criticism. They lean and kind of fall back on that, even if I lose, my life would be okay approach. And I did see Paul George say that before the last game. He was like, I know it's an elimination game, but when I sit back and take everything in, my life is good. I'm doing everything I want to do. So win or lose, I'm good. And I'm like,
that's cool, but you can't really.
Be true,
right?
But this is the game is on,
right.
bro. Like
You can't go out like that.
Yeah, Joe. But it's in response to the criticism. It's in response to being Pandemic P.
Right.
I remember LeBron doing it.
P.
I remember, LeBron.
When he told us to go back to our
go
sorry
back
lives.
To your lives. Y'all got to wake up and go to that whack ass job. It's like, LeBron, G, what you want with it?
Bron played us, Joe.
Bron, I know, he laid into the people. I'm like, G,
yeah, I'm 4-6, but y'all got to wake up and go to that miserable ass job y'all got every day. So miss me.
Joe,
like,
I will never forget that night. I was like, G, LeBron has had enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that man was fed up with y'all, man.
Yeah, but remember, it was all about, we don't pay attention to Twitter. We don't pay attention.
Man, please.
Gee, they do.
We've been around for 6 years DJ. Covering. We've been in clubhouses
after the game.
DJ, we've been in clubhouses and locker rooms for 6 years, bro. Trust me. This ain't the era of the newspaper no more.
Scroll right down.
It used to
phone,
just be
bro.
the newspaper. Now, social. Boy, them people be on. My favorite story, Jason Hayward and Jesse Rogers, bro.
Oh, gee, brought it to his front door, Gino.
Man, it was my second. I think it was the year after the Cubs won the World Series. So I'm in the clubhouse. So what you do is when you go in the clubhouse, pregame, some of the players might be in there. So you got to kind of read the room. So the players will be at their locker. So if the player got his back turned, if the player's like, say this is my locker.
Right,
if I got my back turned, that means leave me alone.
That's the unwritten rule.
That's the unwritten rule. Leave me alone. Now, when I turn or if I'm standing up and I'm doing whatever, then you can approach me. I might still not want to, but that's like open season. I get what you're saying. Yeah. So I'm in the locker room, so I'm waiting to talk to Jay Hay because I want to, I got a couple questions for him. So I'm just sitting there. I'm in the cut, just like I'm over there waiting. So it's like 3 reporters, waiting to talk to him. So. And shout out to our guy, Jesse Rogers. Jesse is cool, but this is a hilarious story. Before I get there, though, when that morning, my cousin Dion had hit me up, and he was like, man, G, you seen that story on ESPN, how they just laid into Jason Hayward? And I'm like, nah. So I go to ESPN, and I read it. It's Jesse Rogers' story talking about Jay Hay ain't been producing. He's overpaid, such and such, just going in. So back to the clubhouse. I'm in the clubhouse. I think Bruce had talked to Jay Hay, and then I think Gordon had talked to Jay Hay. So then Jesse,
no, he's on Facebook Live.
Mind you, this is when we was just trying to find our niche. So I was on Facebook Live because I was gonna do it live, talk to Jay Hay live. So I got the Facebook Live going. I'm just talking. So Jesse walk up to Jay Hay. Jay Hay like, man, what you want? Jesse Rogers was like, huh? He was like, what do you mean? Jay Hay like, hey, man, I saw what you wrote about me in the USA or in ESPN, whatever he wrote, whatever column it was, ESPN. I saw what you wrote about me. I ain't got nothing to say to you. Jesse was dumbfounded. The look on his face. Exactly. It was like, Jay Hay was like, matter of fact, hey, Jason. Security.
Oh,
Jason Carr, who's now the head PR for the Cubs. He was the assistant PR back then. He said, matter of fact, Hey, Jason. Jason walked over there. Hey, DJ. He told that man. Didn't he? Didn't even say a word. DJ pointed at the man and told him. Jason kind of looked. He was like,
I gotta push the button on you.
All right, don't make it hard, bro. This ain't me, bro. Like
the whole time I got the Facebook Live going, like,
and I'm just like, damn. I'm like, Joe, it just went down in the Cubs clubhouse. And mind you, DJ, Jesse and Jason, the Cubs PR, they may have like shared some beers. You know what I mean? They may have been out drinking a couple of times, and Jason had to pull his car. He's like, you gotta go.
He told the man.
Yeah, no words.
Jason said,
I gotta do it.
I said, hey man, wow. So then when Jesse J. Hay was like, so man, what's up, man? What's good? To me, he was like, so what's good, man? I was like,
it just went down.
I was like, damn. I stopped the Facebook Live.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, Joe, you just treated the man. He was like, man, I saw that shit, man. He was like, man, hell no, man. So fast forward to today. It's like, boy, them guys, they know what's going on, especially when all they got to do is search their name.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I see, but that's like the difference, you know. Like we grew up and you hear like somebody would say something bad about like a Kobe or Mike, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, okay.
Let me, whoever I play tomorrow gonna pay for this one.
Don't worry, it'll be a different column tomorrow,
right.
You know, because like a writer's right, you know, that's their job.
And that's their job, exactly,
you know
exactly.
That's their job. But you know, like now, and then it be fans, it be the media, like these people that, like you said, are going to their whack ass 9 to 5. So you know they supposed to
projecting it onto the athlete on Twitter.
Right? Who cares, bro? They supposed to give you people.
Oh, it's
like
definitely fans that go too far.
Just imagine Michael Jordan every time he went to Utah. Do you think them fans had anything good to say to Michael Jordan? Not a thing. He was the best player in the world. Sometimes some people just not gonna like you and they gonna say bad things. Either they'll smile because now at least somebody is on a national stage talking about you. Now you got the same thing to say. All right, boom, I'm gonna reverse it and now I'm gonna do it. Now you're gonna say something. Everybody that had bad moments, you know what I'm saying? Everybody. Well, like Kobe airballed the shot, they came out there. I'm gonna shoot the next
3 in a row, period. Come on.
I'm gonna shoot the next one, right? 2 more airballs.
2 more. And after I'm gonna keep shooting, and then y'all gonna keep writing. I'm gonna keep playing. But once that's in your head, like you can see a prime example of Ben Simmons. Everybody was saying he can't hit free throws. You can tell watching at home
that he knows
that it was in his head. You could just tell it was in his head, and that's why you know what I'm saying, man, forget them. Yo, play your ball. That's it. Pat Bev probably come out there and score 3 points a night, but you ask him, he'll tell you, I'm the coldest out there. The coldest out there on the floor.
Did you see his shoes the other night? The man had a picture of his face, like a silhouette of his face.
Pat Bev,
with Mr. 94 feet.
I'm telling you, that's the mentality that
it's
we
so
got.
Hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? Man, tough skin, yo. Tough skin.
How TA and Pat Bev just choose their own.
TA, first team.
First team. I missed the 94 feet.
Uh-oh. Shocking news. Shout out to Randy Spann, but I had to check for myself.
Shocking news was good.
Non-sports related.
Okay, you know it's all fair game on the soil.
Bill Cosby is free to walk after the court overturns his sexual assault conviction.
They overturned it?
Pennsylvania's highest court overturned Bill Cosby's sex assault conviction Wednesday after finding an agreement with a previous prosecutor preventing him from being charged in the case.
That's definitely breaking, shocking news.
R. Kelly is getting that lawyer on the line right.
Give me that guy.
R. Kelly was like, "Hey, you gonna have to find me
Gino.
Lawyer."
It is all over Twitter right now.
Wow.
Bill Cosby's charges have been dropped. He will walk out of a Pennsylvania state prison a free man after the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court issued an opinion to vacate his conviction.
You know what? You know, it was okay. First of all, what he went there. It's serious. But I just think sometimes, first of all, it was like 60 years. And I know it's no statutory on, like they say rape or anything. I don't really believe at that era Bill Cosby had to really rape somebody and things like that. But, I just find it funny how, once a black person reach, so high up that, this is what they come out of. Like I feel about R. Kelly. Not saying what he did, if he did it, was right or wrong. And I actually know if he did it, not right or wrong. But the fact that, come on, man, if you got kids, do you not know what your 15-year-old daughter doing? Like, is you allowing your 15-year-old daughter at R. Kelly house with all these allegations? That is like you letting your
you lost
little
me at 15.
boy going
Yeah,
on.
I mean,
Yeah, you lost your little boy going to Michael Jackson house.
I don't see now. This is where. Yeah, I mean, because I actually don't mind listening to R. Kelly music, but when it comes down, he 15, 16, this man had a problem, bro. You can't be out here.
For sure.
With an addiction to teenagers and act like you can't, act like you're not going to end up like under the jail eventually.
For sure, but I also think that the parents paid because he was paying them. So my whole
thing, it was a bunch of failures.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my whole thing is now you on
they should be there too.
Exactly. Now you on here crying. He told me he was going to do this career. Your daughter is with a man that alleged, have numerous cases. Like, if you got, we all have a cousin or uncle that steal. Every time he come to your house, to keep on high alert because he going to take some shit. He going to take some, it just, if I know that he's touching little girls, well, why would I even allow it? Even if I'm not there, no, you gonna do this, and this, and then they cry and stuff like that. But I think that's crazy. We don't look at the parents neither in cases like that.
They definitely deserve scrutiny. I feel like I feel like the way I see it is when it comes to Kells and Cosby, I feel like similar situations in. They both had the audacity to think that what they were doing wouldn't cost them what they built. You know what I mean?
Kells, man.
I was at the Defender when Cosby initially went to jail. So I was battling with my executive editor all the time, Kai El Zabar, about how to feed this to the people. And I remember on the day he admitted that he was giving his women Quaaludes. I looked at him like, he's going to jail now. Sure. I'm like, that is what they wanted him to say, G. And as long as that was the truth, as long as he was out here admitting the fact that he did drug his women up, regardless if it was okay in the 60s, if that was how they got down, it's how they got down in the shadows, Bill. You shouldn't have said that out loud. And because he said that, he was going, I knew he was going to spend time in jail.
Yeah, he was, we know R. Kelly going to spend some time in jail this time.
The scary part came when you get 30, 40 women that come out and say that they were victims, and then you have I remember Janice Dickinson, the top model, who came out and said that Bill Cosby did all these things. He came out that she had lied about some of the stuff she said. And I'm hearing lies the debacle. Yeah, it's gee, these mugs be lying.
That's what I'm saying.
And now I feel like even that statement, when I say these mugs be lying, that's going to take people off.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's the percentage of people that lie about that is small in terms
than the actual factuals.
When it actually goes down. But see, now I feel like the difference is the people that lie about it don't face any consequences. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't get in trouble for saying this dude raped me and he didn't.
True, exactly.
And
she free.
So I totally didn't want Bill to die in jail. I'm happy he's getting out.
Bill the 80 piece, ain't he?
Bill the 80 piece, and he was looking like 100 piece.
Can't see.
Yeah,
I
Joe.
think Stevie Wonder can see better than this guy. For real, he's on fine. If you look at him, he don't even look the same no more. Toe up.
Well, I'm glad Bill is able to walk out of that joint and get back to whatever last piece of civilization he got before it's his turn, But
the Me Too era, I mean, I feel it's only been a few people that have been canceled for real, in real life. And Bill Cosby was totally one of them.
Sadiq
Harvey Weinstein.
He's 82.
82, and just getting out. From how many years? It's been about 4 or 5 years.
He served more than 2 years of a 3 to 10.
Well, they only. That's probably why they let him out too.
Through about 2 years,
He
yeah.
was doing a 3 to 10.
They did too.
He probably would have. They probably want to let him out.
It felt longer than that. So, yeah.
Speaking about cases, what about the latest with Chauncey Billups?
Now, I did see that yesterday. His introductory press conference,
and
where the reporter asked him about what he learned from '97,
and the PR shut it down when he was. Now I felt like that was petty because Chauncey was about to speak.
He was right on the cusp of answering the question.
Like, this is an intelligent dude. Let him get his thing off, man. The people need to hit. I mean, he did. He has talked about it in the past.
He has,
but he also wasn't named the interim the head coach of an NBA
team.
franchise, right? So
I feel you, Gino.
Yeah, man, y'all. That was a bunk move by Blazers PR to not let Chauncey get his mind right.
And I feel like the proof is that all we're talking about now is that moment. You know what I mean? Is the fact that the PR butted in and stopped it. It's like, gee, isn't the just smart thing is just in this moment, just answer
let
it.
Him get it off so that can be the end of it.
Even if he say the same thing a couple of times.
He was going to say that it's
yeah.
a script. He's going to say the same thing. He talked about it because I remember he talked about it before, and it was basically the same thing he said again. Like, man, this has shaped my life. Like, some of the decisions you make, you know, they.
Yo, and I feel like this is sexual assault in sports is still a thing that organizations have not learned how to speak about. And I feel like you have to bring up what's going on with the Blackhawks right now. Have you seen those reports about the sexual assault that took place, I believe in 2010 during one of their championship seasons where
who?
The Chicago Blackhawks.
So that's what the Blackhawks, that's what they've been in the news for, hiring a lawyer and all of this.
I think it's the biggest story in sports, G. They had a video guy.
I think somebody got suspended for something like that. Like, it was brought to light back a few years ago.
And within the organization, but not publicly.
Yeah, but it was like, I guess it was like known or like a small.
It was known within the organization,
but like not as big.
It was an open secret.
Yeah, right.
So yesterday, Gary Bettman comes out and makes his first statement on the situation, saying that the Blackhawks are doing an internal investigation. We're going to play our cards, or on this side to the end before we pass it to the NHL, because it happened a long time ago. And I'm like, the way it came to light is that the two players that got sexually assaulted by this video operator, Joe, 2 players, G, had to sue the team. They sued the Blackhawks. That's the only reason we know about this right now.
Run that back. Say that again.
2 players got sexually assaulted during the playoff run in 2010, told the team about it, and the team did nothing.
2 players
were
sexually assaulted
by a team employee,
which was a
man. Yes, Gino. And they told the team about it, Joe. They told the team, and the team did nothing. So, and that is the crazy, yes, even men, and I feel like that is what I feel like women have been trying to tell us, like, yeah, it can happen to everybody. Because these are 2 hockey players, Joe. Okay? On a playoff team, when your team is under the spotlight that this happens, it's like, hold on. And so what is it? 2021. You know what I mean?
11 years ago.
They had to eventually sue about it. So, and of course, I think it was because they were up against the statute of limitations or whatever. But so they've been dealing with this all the while in between time. And so what they're doing now is they're interviewing ex-employees, all of that kind of stuff. And ex-employees are telling the investigators that, yeah, we knew about this. It's like, yeah, it was an open secret within the organization. I forgot it was a coach that came out. Or, excuse me if I'm twisting it up. I got to look it up next time we take a break. But he came out and said, oh, yeah, everybody in the Blackhawks organization knew about this.
Right.
And wondered why nothing was being done. Right. So you get the Blackhawks situation, and then you have what's going on with Chauncey. You have the Blazers PR Not even letting Chauncey talk about it. Then you got the owner of the Blackhawks trying to tell you, oh, this happened a long time ago. It's like, yeah, it did happen a long time ago, but y'all knew about it when it happened.
Exactly. And nothing was...
Yeah, that's the problem, my dude.
Gonna sweep that under the rug.
That's what usually, when you a big star, like you said, they just won a championship, you don't want that.
They're like, you know what?
Coming to you. Just like how we see, what's his name, Watts. Apparently, as soon as he wanted to get a trade, now Deshaun Watson. And now, as soon as he wanted to get a trade, now
what's the latest?
He got like 12 rape allegations.
Oh, he got more than that now. He got a dub.
He got 20 rape allegations on him now. Because like now they don't want to save him no more. I guess it's just like weird how
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and now all of a sudden, if somebody raped me like today, I'm go say something today. I don't.
Yeah, see, that's the tough thing. You bring that up, and it's like, yeah, it's a slippery slope, bro. If you bring that type of situation up, it's like, well, why didn't you say it then? And it's like, I feel you, but it's like, damn, can you really?
I feel like you got to know, you got to have some insight on what happens after you say that. And I feel like that's what keeps people away to just a regular person. You got to get a rape kit. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, you got to get all of this, and they may not even be able to do nothing. They be like, well, the rape kit, it don't show anything, so we can't do anything. Man, it's like walking on thin ice, and I feel like it's even more polarizing when the other person has status. And then it's going to become some situation where it's their word against yours, and how could they even believe me versus this stand-up dude who nobody would believe he ever did anything wrong. So it's a situation where I feel like it warrants some taking a step back and looking at it as a whole. It's like, man, and then it trying to tell people that, man, I got violated. You know what I mean? That's some whole other stuff. It's like, man, somebody took advantage of me and I couldn't do nothing. My only defense is it's putting people in my business. You know what I mean? So it's just it's why sexual assault, I feel like, is one of the worst things you could possibly do. I feel like that's one of the worst things you can do to another person, because it's not just sexual. You take their character.
It's a violation, man. It's a straight up violation.
It's a straight up violation of another human, bro.
Yeah, the Me Too movement, like Shannon Young said, that Me Too movement is something else, man.
It's totally something else. But then when you look at what's been going on in the industry, I mean, in the entertainment industry over the years, it's like,
if you knew what went on in the music industry, then none of and
look at Terry Crews. I mean, and you know what I mean, like, and aside from like his shenanigans, a dude like sexually assaulted him in front of a room of people. And this is like the swollest, most
Terry Crews
diesel
should
mug.
have fired that man up.
Yeah, should have fired him up. But the audacity of a dude to like sexually assault, like, what type of atmosphere? Where am I living really? So yeah, Terry Crews definitely should have hemmed him up, and I don't think anybody would have said he was wrong. I would have been looking at him like, beat his ass.
Put a couple things in perspective.
Fight him, Joe. Fight him. If you didn't fight, I'd be like, boo this man, boo him. But yeah.
Hey man, on that note.
On that note, Chauncey
Billups is the
head
coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. Yusef Nurkic said, if Dame Lillard is gone, he's gone. There's no reason.
Joe,
you didn't see that?
I didn't, and that's funny to me, because it's like,
who are you to say?
Okay, Nuke. Like,
exactly.
You've done so much for Portland.
That's because he know if Dame Lemon gone, they definitely ain't gonna win. Now that's why he like, yo, listen, let me find a place.
I go back up the Joker, fam.
Yeah,
like I was from the jump.
Yeah,
man, I go back to that. So, but yeah, Joe. So yeah, is it break time?
It's break time, man. Let's DJ go on, take us to break, man. We come back on the other side, man. We got a couple topics to talk about. We know we got to talk about Scottie Pippen, but do you want to talk baseball first? Because we got the tale of two cities, the tale of two teams in the city right now, man. One team last night, the Lucas Giolito and Josh Donaldson situation.
That was interesting to me.
And then we got them guys Trying to break a 5-game losing streak, man, and it's Jed Hoyer time. Is it buy or sell time, man? So we'll come back on the other side and we'll choose a topic, but we definitely gonna get into both. So DJ, take us to break, man. You're on the soil with the bigs.
WIFTBPM. We all remember our life before COVID-19. The parades, the lakefront barbecues, taste of Chicago, the happy hours, and most importantly, loving those unforgettable moments with our friends and families. Getting Chicago vaccinated is what will make the activities we miss safe for everyone. So let's get back to it, Chicago. Let's come together to end this pandemic. Find your vaccine at chi.gov/COVIDvax.
You got to Kennedy King, so you remember Corey Brown?
I definitely remember Corey Brown from Morgan Park.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Murder, man. So I got it in with y'all one day before a game, and then y'all literally went out and destroyed some people by about 50 at Kennedy King, and I'll never forget, somebody shot a jumper. It came off long, and Corey will tell this story to this day. He says he went up, and I was in the stands. He went up for the rebound, and before he could jump, he said he felt a foot on his head. And it was you, and you caught it. Classic P-Mac catching it over everybody, putting it back in. He says before he jumped, he felt a foot on his head. And Corey was 6'4", easy.
On his head.
On his head.
Yeah, Corey, so he was 6'4", man. I used to I don't know, I had a knack, man. I was always uber athletic. Like I was taught earlier, if somebody shoot, you got to come from the opposite side. I had a guy in my neighborhood named Wayne Irvin, a legendary dude to us in our neighborhood. Played at Chicago State, played at Wyoming.
Okay.
Played against Patrick Ewing. He passed away a couple years ago, but went to CVS. He was a decorated player. A lot of people knew him. And he taught me early, like, you attack offensive rebounds from the opposite side. So if somebody shoot from the left wing, you crash from the right. If somebody shoot from the top of the key, you can crash because it can go either way and you can get it. I was so big and athletic. I used to get a lot of tip dunks. Like, for some reason, people never boxed me out. And once I got a running start, if it came off anywhere over the rim and bounced up, you was dead.
This is Eugene McIntosh, one half of the illest independent sports media outlet in the whole entire land, the Bigs. Check me and my player partner Terrence Tomlin, a.k.a. T-Time the Great, out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. on What's In It for the Black People Media Network.
Mellow finesse, calm and collected. You know what I'm talking? Bitch nigga disrespect, bitch nigga disrespect. Finesse crew, finesse clan. Not here. All you hang hoes drop dead. Add up, add mo. Count money, smoke dope. Count money, smoke dope. That's what I do the most. Add up, add mo. That's what I do the most. Styling on you, ho. That's what I do the most. Remember I was broke. Not no more. Count money, smoke dope. That's what I do the most. Add up, add mo. That's what I do the most. Styling on you, ho. That's what I do the most. Remember I was broke, but I ain't no more. My mother and my bro, they who I do it for. Remember sharing clothes, sleeping on the floor. Wake me up, Sunday Bible school, but I ain't wanna go. Time I wasted cause I was confused, but I ain't no more. In the basement, washing out my clothes. My fingers cold, fucking on different races of hoes. They don't wanna go, trading places, usher Raymond them hoes. Fuck them on the floor, get your paper, that's all I was told. Since I was a shorty, riding around, trying to sell my weed. That's so important, laying down, took a sip of that lean, and now I'm snorting. Watch your mouth before your lips, laying by your Jordans. Air Force Ones all the time, cause I couldn't afford them. I be high, like a plane, like where we going. Can't switch sides in my lane. I know where I'm going. Times change, came a long way from saving quarters. All desire surrounding me. I should live in the forest, count money, smoke dope. That's all I do the most. Add up, add mo. That's what I do the most. Styling on you, ho. That's what I do the most. Remember Remember I was broke, but I ain't no more. Count money, smoke dope. That's what I do the most. Add up, add more. That's what I do the most. Styling on you, ho. That's what I do the most. Remember I was broke, but I ain't no more. Mellow finesse. Come collect till a bitch nigga disrespect. Finesse crew. Not here. Are you hating those? Drop dead. I'm be stepping right over you motherfuckers. Count money, smoke dope. Add up, add more. Add up, add more. Count money. Count money, smoke dope. Count money, smoke dope.
Listening to the Bigs with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin.
He's bare-chested,
right here on What's in It for the Black People Media. What's good? You back down on the soil rocking with the Bigs on What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIIFTVPM. Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio. You're listening to The Bigs with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. Let's begin now.
They calling us the bigs, but not because our size. It's the bigs. They calling us the bigs, but not because our size. It's the bigs. They calling us the bigs, but not because our size. It's the bigs. They calling us the bigs, but not because our size.
What's going on, everybody? You are kicking it on the soil with the Bigs. You know who it is, man. My brother Gino. I'm T-Tom. Just want to let you know we are not going to spend the whole day talking about Bill Cosby. I know the whole. You see, it just came out. Oh my God, Ja! You see what you did to
him, man.
You see what you done got me, Ja. But yes, we got to talk about somebody else who definitely DJ, and I don't know what's going on with our boy Scotty. But we know he has a book to drop, but man, has he been on the tangent lately. I don't know if he's trolling, if he actually feels the way that he's saying he feels. But I definitely feel like the latest installment of the wild, crazy world of Scottie Pippen made a stop at the Dan Patrick show. Shout out to Dan Patrick, who's been one of my favorite sportscasters and interviewers ever since I was a kid. A real interesting conversation took place between him and Scotty about how he feels about looking back on the 90s Bulls. His thoughts on Phil Jackson, his thoughts on Tony Kukoc, his thoughts on the infamous situation of him deciding not to go back in the game because a game-winning shot call was a game-winning shot play was called for Tony Kukoc instead of Scotty. And then, of course, like even the moment, you know, they spoke on when Mike and Steve Kerr had their little kind of back and forth when he was like, Mike, if you get doubled, I'll be open and I'll be ready. He spoke on that. And, Gino, you're pulling up the video. But I can't front, man. I'm feeling for our boy Scotty because I feel like even if it's just to sell a book, he's going out kind of sad, man. And you cannot go out sad. You know what I mean? I feel like the overall goal, you can do a bunch of things as long as you don't go out sad. And I feel like if this is like the lasting hurrah, or if this is like the Scottie Pippen appreciation tour, if he's trying to do that, then I feel like he's failing miserably. And I feel like at the end of this, he's gonna have less people caring about what's going on in him. But where should we start with this? Should we start with the Phil Jackson is a racist, or should we start with the Mike was fabricating and basically producing these classic moments?
Man, we can
for
start
the camera.
While I'm trying to bring this road up, I don't know why it's not loading up. I don't see. It's not even.
Oh, it's not.
It's not even
showing up.
registering. Yeah, but
So yeah, at this point, everybody's probably seen it. Everybody's probably seen it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, Scotty's got don't he got a yak coming out too?
A bourbon, yes.
So Scotty got a lot of bread to make in the next few months, man. So I don't know if this is
I've seen people telling Scotty to put the alcohol down.
Scotty look wild.
We've been at the UC for his ambassador days. He definitely keeps a cup. So
I see people saying Larsa done drove the man crazy.
Bro, I don't even want to talk about how she done ran the man's last name through the mud for clout and God knows what else.
Let me see if I can find this rose somewhere else, man. But yeah. So it's even just as far as The Last Dance was concerned, and him talking about, you know, who the cameras were there for, and Mike was doing it for the cameras, and Mike was
it was made up. It was fabricated. He was speaking to the cameras. And I feel like if Scotty feels this way, that he could have always kept it to himself. I don't understand why he's trying to take people down with him and all of that.
Well, the thing that gets me is no one's come to Scotty's defense. Even in the Phil Jackson is racist little swirl over the last few days. Will Perdue was on 670 to score the other day. They asked Dennis Rodman, they asked Shaq, they asked a couple other players who've played for Phil, what they actually thought about those comments. And now let's not get it twisted about Phil Jackson. Phil's record of sideways comments, I'll call them, about black players. Yeah, that his record isn't pristine. Talking about, remember he called LeBron James guys the posse?
Yeah, I remember
Maverick
that.
Carter, his business partners, he called them his posse.
I remember that 100%.
And he did say, like, okay, maybe I used the wrong choice of words, and we know how much power words have. So Phil did not apologize, but he did say maybe I used the wrong words, but I definitely meant what I said. And then we can go on when he talked about the dress code. And
now go ahead.
His quote about the NBA dress code, he's like, the players have been dressing in prison garb the last 5 or 6 years. All the stuff that goes on, it's like gangster thuggery stuff. It's time.
Racist.
It's been time to do that.
Racist. That's a racist comment.
And then even talking about just black players versus white players in general, when he talked back in the day about, the way that white players play more team basketball, where black players make it more of a one-on-one thing, and that's why only like 5 or 6 teams in the league play like a team basketball type of game.
Now, I feel like I'm in the minority when I first heard the Phil Jackson is racist comments. I feel like the majority of the people I saw responded like this: Phil Jackson, no way. No way could Phil Jackson, no way is he racist. But me, I was like, okay, Scotty, tell me more. Tell me more about why you feel this way. Because when a black person says that another person is racist, I definitely just don't let it sail out of bounds. You feel me? And I feel like what you just did was provide enough context for me to feel like, oh, okay, I'm not somebody. I'm sure if those are public comments, then he totally may have said some things behind the scenes that we don't know that were racist. Even if Phil Jackson didn't know that he had some racism in him, that he had some prejudice in him. Because I feel like a white man could easily convince himself that he's not racist by saying, I coach a majority black players. I can say that they're running around like prisoners. You know what I mean? I coach like the greatest basketball players of all time. How could I be racist? I don't want to let Phil off the hook just because of who we've come to know him to be. And I totally don't want to dismiss Scotty just because people think he's tripping now.
And because we don't know what went on in those locker rooms. We don't know what was being said.
Dan Patrick. He was like, I was in the practices, Dan.
And then, let's start off how this whole thing started by him saying that the move to give Tony Kukoc the last shot of the game, it was a racial move.
Okay.
And that's where it was kind of like, okay, Scotty's tripping.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, 2 days later, when he talks to these different media outlets and he kind of explains why he felt that way, and it gets deeper and deeper, then it's like you said, then when these quotes start coming up, if you know Phil Jackson's history and his book he wrote.
Exactly.
He talked about a lot of this stuff in his book, so it's right there for you. So then it's like, okay, now maybe Scotty ain't tweaking. But again, when you talk to Will Perdue, but then you talk to Shaq and the Worm and a couple other guys who've been in the locker room with Phil Jackson, and they say, you know, Phil has said some questionable things, but Phil ain't racist. It's like, you know, now you got to take all things into consideration. And I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know Phil.
Period.
So
definitely don't know Phil.
Let me see, man. Hey, DJ. I'm gonna see if he can, because he may have to do something for the role for me to pull it up, because I don't know if many people have seen
the Dan Patrick
interview. But I think so Sadiq says all white people are racist. It's built into the system. We have an emotional perception of racism. All Western systems and institutions are racist. You can be nice and racist. Racism doesn't have a positive or negative switch. It's actually both. Hey, I'm a student of Dr. Umar, bro. Dr. Umar quote says that in exact, actual, factual, Sadiq. So, hey, brother, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm just giving you all the vantage points from all of the different people who've talked about Phil.
Period. And that right there, though, is why I don't let that sail out of bounds.
Right,
you know what I mean? 'Cause
100%.
I'm like, oh, it's totally possible.
100%.
It is not an impossibility that Phil Jackson is walking around here saying wild stuff under the I'm Phil Jackson act, and y'all gonna have to just feel me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And you just proved it. Like that comment about athletes walking around like they were in prison suits. Meanwhile, these are millionaires. It's a racist comment, Joe.
Then I think he was talking about, so listen to this comment. I don't mean to say that as a snide remark toward a certain population in our society, but they have a limitation of their attention span. A lot of it probably due to too much rap music going on in their ears and coming out of their being.
Oh, the rapidy rap. So say that and finish that.
Because remember, Chance the Rapper was a gangster rapper too. Don't forget that.
Oh, what is the world coming to?
How could the White Sox allow Chance the Rapper to throw out the first pitch?
These are words from Chicago media, y'all. So
hey, Chance the Rapper's a gangster rapper, y'all.
But can you say the last part of that?
I don't mean to say that as a snide remark toward a certain population in our society, but they have a limitation of their attention span. A lot of it probably due to too much rap music going on in their ears and coming out of their being. Phil.
That's like if somebody put their hands on him after he said that, I would let it go for like 3 seconds. I'd be like, get a couple shots in. Okay, break it up. It's like, yeah, that's first of all, that's a very disrespectful comment to the players he coaches, to the players that he spends time coaching.
Y'all listen to too much damn rap music.
And it's coming out in the way y'all do your stuff. You know what I mean? So, but therein lies, you know what I mean, the disconnect in all of sports. You know what I mean? The players, and sometimes I do put it on the players. You know what I mean? I do feel like sometimes the players should advocate more for black coaches and coaches that they can relate to.
We've been saying that.
Because they wouldn't have that problem, with with the John Thompson, like, or even if it's, a David Fisdale or who else, whoever else. But as long as, look at, Phil Jackson was raised in the 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s.
People think because Phil smoked a little weed
that
and
he's
a Zen
one of those
master.
Progressive white dudes.
Uh-huh.
I was in New York in the 70s, or I did drugs in the 60s. I know what young people feel. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's how Phil Jackson probably thinks. But you see, even the disconnect in the 90s between him and freaking Scottie Pippen. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Scottie came from the dirt road. It's like, he is one of the countryest mugs to ever play. Of course he had disagreements with Phil. Yeah, I mean,
man went to Central Arkansas.
Come on, bruh. The game of basketball. Yeah, I mean, come on, G. Like, yes, him and Phil Jackson. I'm sure Scotty can look at Phil and be like, this cat racist, G.
That man said he gave Tony Kukoc the last shot of the game. He said, boy, I put in all the work with Mike. I went through having to get beat up by the Pistons for 3 years. I went through the Utah Jazz twice, and now that it's my turn, no, actually this was before the Utah Jazz. This was before Mike came back. So he's like, I did all of that work. So you gonna tell me that I don't deserve the game winning shot, even though if you go back and look at the game, because I definitely did. Scotty did take the last 3 shots to ice the game. The Bulls were up 4 with like 1:30 left, and Scotty took the last 3 shots, and they were nowhere near the basket.
I remember they showed that on the Last Dance. It's like Tony had took the last shot because you missed the previous three, and Tony had hit like multiple game winners that season. Right. Like, just had a weapon in Tony in that moment. It's tough to say racism played a part in that moment, but again, I don't put it past Phil being like, get this country mug out of it. You know what I mean? Like, not Scotty, you know? But at the same time, I wish Scotty didn't have to go on this tour and like you said, without anybody backing him up, without anybody having his back, having to fight these battles. Yeah, you know I mean?
Yeah, no one's come to the aid and assist of Scotty.
Where's Mike? Like, how come Mike ain't gonna say something, man?
What Mike gonna say?
Well, just say Scotty is going through a tough time or something. You know what I mean? Just don't say
tweaking.
Nothing. Just say Scotty's grieving or something. You know what I mean? Even though I'm not saying I agree with Scotty, he's one of my he's a good friend of mine, and I hope he's good. Something. You know what I mean?
I don't know if that's a good friend of his.
Like, of course, I don't. Who's a good friend of Scotty's then? Horace Grant?
Probably his closest friend that I would probably think would be Horace Grant.
I don't know if Horace Grant came out and said anything if it would matter. So get it all out, Scotty. Go ahead, get it all out. I mean, I don't know. Do we know when the book is dropping? Is he
November?
At this point, he should just read it page for page for us. It's like
give us a few excerpts.
I'm going straight to the Phil is a Racist chapter when I get it. So
yeah, the pre-order it now, man. I don't know where. Probably Amazon.
Man.
Don't know the name of it.
I hope he doesn't have a section in there about his wife and everything that's been going on. I just hope he acts like that just never happened. Because she was with Malik. Who?
Malik Beasley.
Malik Beasley.
Wasn't she with Future?
That's how how the whole mess got started.
Okay.
And I don't know why, Future ended up like subliminally coming at Scotty. I don't know why Future had to do that. I don't know if Scotty and them had like personal encounters and, Future hopped in the booth on him. But the Malik Beasley situation even if you don't count the Future, the Malik Beasley situation with the Instagram and Malik Beasley's wife or baby mama and the couple of weeks that they shared together is straight out of some VH1 show that didn't make it to TV. You feel like this is the worst VH1 show that has ever been made. That's what was going on with Lawrence Pippen and Malik Beasley and the triangle that they was in. And I just wish that she didn't have Scotty's last name. I can't front. It's like, can you just call her Lawrence while she's out here like that? Just don't even call her Scottie Pippen's wife. It's like, ooh, Scotty, you taking shots even when you're not around.
So they're divorced.
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. Like if you put in Scotty divorces, I think she made him apologize for her cheating on him with Future. Like, Scotty had to be like, I'm sorry, you cheated on me. And I don't know if are they divorced, bro? I don't think they're divorced.
No.
Yeah, I don't. Whatever's going on in that relationship, it has to be like we live in the same house but don't talk kind of thing.
So he filed for divorce in 2016 after 19 years of marriage. But they decided to stay together, bro.
Is that like a love wins kind of thing, or is that like I don't want you to take half under the Eddie Murphy Act? Half, Scotty.
They got 4 kids together.
Whew. Like my heart just sank. I'm like, they got 4 kids and she's out here like this with Malik Beasley.
Wait a minute, man. So now I'm seeing conflicting reports because now it says former wife.
Okay. So it's like not his problem anymore kind of thing. Either way, Scottie Pippen has been through a lot over the last couple of years, man.
Wow, man. Hold on, let me. So she's a reality. This is lets you know how far removed from the real world I am. So she's a reality TV star?
Is that what they called it? I mean, it's the era of basketball wives. So I don't know if she's ever been on that, but she totally is in that mode.
Hey, DJ, do you have to connect me to the road over there for me to pull it up over here? Because I sure ain't seeing nothing over here. Let's see.
Connecting now.
Let me see if it pull up. There it is. All right, let me see how quick we can get this thing up here. The switch is ready. The input is ready. The display is ready. Shout out to everybody out there rocking with the bigs, man. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, whatever your social media vice of choice is, man. We appreciate you guys locking in, tapping in with us. But we're gonna play this Dan Patrick and Scottie Pippen piece that we were talking about, just to give the people who aren't up on what happened between Scottie and this Phil Jackson situation. Let me find it real quick.
My bad, bro. I got caught up in Halle Berry's Instagram.
What?
I was looking for Scottie Pippen, his Instagram, and I came upon Halle Berry's Instagram, and I just went down a quick rabbit hole right on air. So, my bad.
GQ article where you talked about the 1994 playoff game when you refused to go back in the game and Phil set up the play for Tony Kukoc.
Well, I mean, it's not much to be said. If you go back and look at when Scottie Pippen entered the Bulls and when Tony Kukoc entered the Bulls, and who deserved the last shot of the game.
No, I understand that, Scotty. I'm just going by what you said. You said you need to read between the fine lines.
Took a couple pulls,
and then you go on to say it was a racial move to give him, Tony Kukoc, a rise.
So, I mean, if you knew that Scottie Pippen had been with the Bulls from 87, battled through the Pistons and every other team that we had to get to those 3 championships, wouldn't you give Scottie Pippen one opportunity to get a last-second shot without Michael Jordan? Like, 1 year without Michael Jordan. Can I get one shot? Like, I'm doing all the dirty work.
But all of that I understand from the basketball standpoint. But when you say a racial move,
why would Tony, who was a rookie, get the last-second shot and you put me out of bounds? That's what I mean, racial. Like, that was Scottie Pippen's team.
But
Scottie
Phil
Pippen
then
was on pace to be an MVP that year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why would you put him in a position not to be successful? Why wouldn't you put him in a position to succeed? Michael Jordan is not there. So who's next in line for you?
That's why, Scotty. You were 0 for 3
but have you
down
talked
the
to
stretch.
Phil about this? Because by saying a racial move, then you're calling Phil a racist.
I don't got a problem with that.
Do you think Phil was or is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you remember Phil Jackson left the Lakers, wrote a book on Kobe Bryant, and then came back and coached him? Who would do that? You name someone in professional sports that would do that, you know? I think he tried to expose Kobe in a way that he shouldn't have. You're the head coach, and you're the guy that sits in the locker room and tells the players, this is a circle, and everything stays within the circle, because that's what team is about. But you as the head coach, open it up, and now you go out and you try to belittle, at that time, probably one of the greatest players in the game.
Well, it feels like he's disloyal. I don't know if that makes him a racist.
Well, that's your way of putting it out, and I have my way. I was in the locker room with him. I was in practices with him. You're looking for him afar.
Yeah, and look, that's why I wanted to have you on. But I go back, and Phil designed a play for Steve Kerr when Mike was there. And Mike didn't have a problem with that, did he?
I don't want to. You're not setting me up to answer the right question. What do you mean Phil set up a play for Steve Kerr? He didn't set that play for Steve Kerr. He set that play for Michael Jordan.
He just said if
I thought in the huddle, Mike says, I'm going to throw you the ball. You'll be open at the foul line. And Phil had nothing to do with that?
And you don't want to get this show started because it'll take us a long time. Do you know all those cameras that's sitting in that huddle, who they was working for?
The NBA.
So you know who Michael was speaking to when he said that, right? that was planned. That was speaking to the camera. That wasn't speaking out of what we're going to have to do, what the play is going to be. That was speaking to the camera. Had John Stockton not came down, trust me. But that was building his own documentary, because he knew he was controlling the cameras. You understand English?
Yeah.
Okay. So all those cameras that was working
Patrick said, yeah,
were working basically for Michael Jordan, not for the Chicago Bulls.
But
they were building the Come Fly With Me, the Air Jordan videos. That's what it was.
Field trip to see Come Fly With Me at the IMAX.
That was not naturally spoken.
Okay. All right.
That was rehearsed.
Okay. Help me understand the GQ.
Gino, I'm kind of stuck on the Big Mike and Steve Kerr moment was planned.
Yeah, Dan Patrick was tripping. That definitely wasn't planned. Mike told that man, if they come double, this Mike being the greatest player of all time, reading the ball game. If they come to double me at this shot, which they've done all my life, you're going to be open at the free throw line. I'm going to hit you with the pass, and you're going to make the shot.
I'm laughing how Scotty just going to sneak in a smooth. Do you understand English?
He like, yeah, I do.
Do you understand English?
Yeah, I do, actually,
He like,
Scotty.
yeah.
But Scotty does have a point as far as like to Come Fly With Me and all of the videos. I mean, you do need.
They were there to document Michael Jordan.
You need that footage to
and
add.
And of course, the camera angle right behind Steve as he's saying that, and you get Mike kind of drinking a Gatorade cup like, I hear you, but I don't hear you. Look.
All right.
But if that was planned.
Didn't Tony Kukoc make the shot?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I'm
He knocked it down.
Yeah, he made the shot, and then he made it before. Like, he made it.
Yeah, he had made a couple shots that season.
It's like the uncle from Napoleon Dynamite, Joe.
Yeah.
Like, look, if I just went back in time and he gave me that one opportunity, I would have knocked it down.
Scotty, stop it. You got 3 rings. You wanted a 50. You had 3 rings at that point. You
got 6 now.
Yeah, you was like he said, he was an MVP. So I understand where he was coming from. I definitely understand where he was coming from.
Now this is where I understand where Scotty feels this way. If you watch The Last Dance, Scottie Pippen was definitely painted as like the kind of slow little brother. Because he took the contract when Jay Reinsdorf told him, don't take this, you're gonna hate me in a couple years. He ended up sitting out. He chose to sit out and acted like he wasn't going to ever catch any backlash from that. And then the whole, like, he's the Robin. He's the Robin of all Robins. He could never be, like, his own man because he's forever, like, Michael Jordan's sidekick. I think that completely, he's had enough of that. You know what I mean? He's like, look, I'm Scottie Pippen. I'm one of the best basketball players. Mike ain't won a championship till I came.
True. True, but we all know like who the greatest is, like, and that's why it's called like role identity. You know what I'm saying? Like you knew what you was there for. You did your job, and that's why they was. You right. Mike left for a couple of years, and like you said, you was on your way to an MVP season, but the year that he left, you didn't take him to no ship. The next year, even though like he came back. Like, Mike wasn't even in shape all the way. Like, you didn't lead them to something. So once he came back, he won 3 more. Mm-hmm. So it's like boom, like if you're such this great player, which he is.
Oh yeah,
what I'm saying?
And nobody take that away from him.
But if you think that you're better than MJ, when MJ left, then you should have done it. Even though I do think that Scottie Pippen is the reason for that we call point forwards now, from the triangle system. He was real good first. Yeah, and like even Phil said it, like the triangle system worked it better when Mike wasn't there because the ball kept moving, kept finding hands. It once, stuck to Mike.
And stop at 23.
Yeah, but you got to know, man, 23 was that man. And I just think that Scottie, like you said, he tired of living in the shadow. You know what I'm saying? And he
Scottie under the mama's cook. Yeah, y'all like gotta get some of mama's cooking from Scottie, Joe.
Yes, so like he realizes that like no matter what, I'm Scottie Pippen, but unfortunately Michael Jordan's name is like tied to my name. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm tied to them, but I feel like I should be on my own, and I get that. It's kind of like when Batman left like Robin, you know what I'm saying? But still, when he left him, he was a Teen Titan. Still went on Mike, still went on Batman level, and I think that he has to like accept that. It's just like you know what? I was the second. I mean, I played on the best Olympic team ever. Like you done it, but you won better than Mike. Yeah, and when you could have, you lost.
I think it's no way in hell Scottie doesn't realize his position of who he is in NBA history. Like, yeah, you didn't win nothing. Mike didn't win without you. But we all know that you were Robin and Mike was Batman. So let's just leave it there. If you think Phil is racist, cool. I'm glad that he was able to expand on the reasons why, because just feel that was a racial move by giving Tony the ball at the end of the game. That didn't sit well with me. But the fact that he could expand, and even though when he talked about Kobe and Mike, the book Phil had came out with, it was the 11 Rings book. And I think what he did was he was comparing. He was just basically like, man, I hate the comparisons between Kobe and Mike. He was like, man, Mike was, so much more outgoing than Kobe. Mike liked to hang out with his teammates. Mike liked to gamble, play cards. He was just more outgoing than Kobe. And then I think there were a few sideways comments in that book about Kobe. As far as basically it was just about him and the comparison with him and Mike. So I think that's what Scottie was referring to when he talked about, coming out with that book and Kobe and all of that. But
I don't think Phil racist though. I don't think he like racist, right? I mean,
well,
I'm to be honest. Anybody, I believe that anybody.
I totally think Phil's capable of racism.
When you were out there handling your business, Sadiq, and I'm gonna read it again for you because I want to read a couple of these comments too. So, DJ Sadiq said, "All white people are racist. It's built into the system. We have an emotional perception of racism. All Western systems and institutions are racist. You can be nice and racist. Racism doesn't have a positive or negative switch. It's actually both." And like I said, I'm a student of the Dr. Umar FDMG Academy, man, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Man, y'all hit the PayPal, man, and hit the cash out for my boy Umar, man. Let's get that academy going out in Wilmington, Delaware. But anyway, Dr. Umar says the same thing. All white people are racist. It's just a part of the system. He says no one person can be racist. It's it's systematic. So
yeah, I agree. I won't say all, but I agree that you probably like the majority. But I don't think not all white people, but I do believe the majority. And especially, I ain't gonna lie, I believe that anybody that was born like, if you was born like 19, 30, 40, like 50, like,
it's just in you.
It's just in you, because if you was born in the 20s and 30s and you still here, you was going through that. If you was white, you was going through that. Like, you saw the whites only, black only. Like, your parents are damn near teaching you to hate black people. So those people I'm a little shaky about. I ain't gonna lie. Like when I see like a 70, 80-year-old like woman, I'm like, you probably
Clutch her purse when she see
Just might be. Yeah.
But
So check this out. So we was talking about Kim Kardashian, Larsa Pippen. So Miriam said she had an early midlife crisis and now he's following. She was on Real Housewives of Miami. And then some Kai Bunton said she was on Housewives of Miami and the Kardashians. Then Grant said Scotty filed for divorce in 2016. He dropped it. Then she filed in 2018, and it was finalized in early 2021. Pat asked, why is Scotty talking in third person? Hey, shout out to Pat, man. Shout out to my brother Pat Panache Stanton in the comments,
I'm in the comments now peeping.
I'm rocking a thoroughbred legacy. Shout out to my boy Pat. I copped a couple of his pieces. So Pat, put the site in the comments and let people know where they can get down with the thoroughbred legacy, man.
Absolutely. I'm coming at you, Pat.
Let me see. Grant said the same thing. I'm not arguing about Phil's racist comments and what you guys have covered today. I do think Scotty wasn't making shots in the last minute, and using him as a decoy for Kukoc to get the shot isn't necessarily an example of racism. And yeah, I'm just leaving racism totally out of that situation. Scotty was 0 for 3. Scotty they were up 102-98.
That was a very smart basketball move.
Exactly. And it paid off. They ended up winning the game.
Off. Sorry, Scotty. It would have been dope if you hit it, but it was Tony's, time. Sorry.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so.
And did you see he posted the picture of him and Tony on Instagram at his bourbon event?
No.
Yeah, him and Tony with their arms around each other. You know what I mean?
Was this before or after
this
the
was
comments?
Yesterday.
Okay.
He posted the picture yesterday.
Okay.
So I'm like, and he had the Scotty hairstyle, so I'm thinking it was recent.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, these dudes was in the trenches together. Who
Yeah,
cares
it's like
what
that's
he's
his
saying?
opinion. Exactly. It's like if that's what he
Let
feels,
us know
cool.
he got to sell a book.
Man, we got 3 together, bro. It's all. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm going into the Hall of Fame with you. Like,
right.
I'm Tony Kukoc, fam. So.
Well, we got about 10 minutes left, man.
What if Tony told like, yeah, you should have took that last shot?
Tony like,
I'm not lucky I hit it, but I would have chose you.
Yeah, like I probably would have gave it to you too, Scotty. Even though you was 0 for 3 down the stretch.
Before I got there, I was like, ooh, Scotty too? Yeah, so.
We got some straightening.
Man, what made Mike great when he told Phil Jackson drew up that great play, and right after they got out the huddle, he said, "No, listen, man, they gonna send a double packs and be ready to shoot the shot." Like that's the difference. You see, Scotty wanted the whole team on him and still wanted to shoot the shot. When your coach designed the best play for you to win the game
or the team,
you know what I'm saying?
The team, Scotty.
You went out there. They probably was going to a W, so we drew.
They probably wasn't going to double him because he was 0 for 3 down the stretch. So they was going to let him because Scotty wasn't. Let's not trip. Scotty was not a shooter.
Nah,
right.
Scotty wasn't even a scorer.
Because even the 3 he took, he was like damn near wide open.
Man, that man missed 3 bad shots going down the stretch, bro.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like you drew a play for your team to win, and you in 25 years, I don't know, still later, you still mad.
Still talking.
Like, I could have seen if they blew it or something, like you really called a play, like, bro, they drew the winning play.
And Tony knocked it down.
It's okay.
Game over.
Like, that's not racist. That's your coach is seeing that this guy is known for freaking shooting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's marketing, DJ. I'm gonna leave it there. Scotty got a book to sell. He got bourbon out. It's all about getting the word out. So he got the boat. Oh, he got
like the old Washington Redskins logo when he get his hair braided. You gotta look up from the side. He look like the Washington Redskins logo when he get his hair braided.
Looked like he was in the DeLorean.
Somebody stole his girl.
Future
stole his girl. Look, now he digging in the past. See,
looked like he was in the DeLorean with Doc and Back to the Future.
come on, Scotty.
But man. So we got about 10 minutes left, man. We gotta talk Cubs and White Sox. The Cubs are in Milwaukee for Game 3 of the finale of the 3-game set against the Milwaukee Brewers, who are now 5 games up in the NL Central. The Cubs have lost 5 straight after winning the opener in LA. They lost the last 3 in LA, and they lost the first 2 in Milwaukee. Offensively, just poor approaches at the plate, not spraying the ball, not using the entire field. The last 2 nights, even with our boy Javi, man, he before the game got out of hand Tuesday or Monday.
Yeah,
you know, he had the he was up with the bases loaded and just had a very selfish, uninspired at bat where he swung. And then even yesterday, same thing, runners on, down one. Just a non-competitive at bat. He swung at 3 balls.
Everything
after Brandon Woodruff had just walked 2 guys, he swung at 3 balls that were not strikes, and just a total selfish, non-competitive at bat. And again, now the Cubs are 5 games behind. They have managed to not get swept the last 3 series they've lost, so they have a chance to do that today. I'm not sure who's pitching on either side, but the brothers definitely need a W today to, at least make it 4 games back in the NL Central before a day off tomorrow and heading to Cincinnati for a 3-game series against the Reds this weekend. So it's obvious that they're missing, Nico Horner. Matt Duffy has just been placed on a 60-day IL, so he's not available to come back until after the All-Star game, because I think he's been there over a little bit over a month and a couple weeks.
So another month.
Not even a month, maybe
about
like
3
2 weeks. 2 weeks, yeah, it'll be 60. So, but that was just to make room for the pitcher they brought up yesterday. Chris Bryant was out.
I peeped. He say he's dealing with a back issue.
Yeah, he dove for a ball in L.A. And he said he was.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, feeling a little pain from that. Anthony Rizzo's back he's having back problems. He said he felt a lot better than he has the last couple of days. So hopefully he can be back in the lineup in a couple of days. The Cubs have been really short behind the plate. Last night, Jose Lobaton separated his shoulder. Today, he was placed on the 60-day IL. What's our guy who was moved up today? They called up Taylor Gushu, if that's how you say his name, from AAA. So actually, it was a left shoulder sprain for Jose Lobaton. He tried to beat out a ball last night, which I think he probably could have beat out because Josh Hader missed the bag at the end of the game, but had to get back and he tagged the bag with his glove. But Jose Lobaton had given up on the play, like 2/3 down the way down the line. So I feel like if he would have hustled the entire way, he could have beat Josh Hader. But a lot of people were wondering why, David Ross sent him to the plate to pinch hit with the game on the line. And this is a guy who hasn't gotten a hit as a Cub this year and hasn't gotten a hit in the major league since 2018. But he was the only guy left. Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant were out last night. So it's going to be interesting again going forward. Now the Cubs, like I said, 5 games back, a few weeks away from the trade deadline. There was a lot of talk about the Cubs being buyers. Had they, been in first place or hovering around 2 or 3 games out of first. But the way they've looked for these last couple weeks and most of the month of June, like last in most offensive categories around Major League Baseball, they're looking like the team that started the first month of the season looking like they would be complete sellers. So, hey, man, you take it one day at a time, T. Like we say, you come to the ballpark looking to win that day's baseball game, and that's what the guys got to do today before going into Cincinnati and looking to, play another NL Central rival. So be interested to see the effort they come out with today, because last night, even though they held the Brewers to 2 hits, great outing by Zach Davies, great outing by the bullpen, you can't lose that game. So just not looking good.
When you're sliding like that, you want that one.
Yeah, it's not looking good. So, but on the other side of town, very interesting stuff going on last night, man, with Josh Donaldson and
Lucas Giolito. Yeah. Again, Gino, I caught the replays of this and the recaps, but pretty much up to speed right now. Josh Donaldson hit a home run off of Lucas Giolito as he's crossing home plate after the long ball. He says, it's not sticky anymore. And, of course, that's in reference to Operation Sticky Stuff. Pitchers can't use any foreign substances at this moment. And we've been seeing, I feel like over the last few days, like a couple of pitchers that we know to be aces getting smacked around a little bit. That wasn't necessarily the case with Lucas Giolito. He still only gave up 1 or 2 runs, I feel. It ended up being a 7-6 game, but that, the bullpen came in and let a couple of runs go. I got to look back and see how the Twins were able to get on the board, because when we were wrapping up dinner last night, it was 7-1. I get out to the Burbs, it's 7-6, and Hendricks is in.
Okay.
So in the ninth, but Gino, they were able to pull out the win. Yesterday was their second straight win after, a long streak of losing versus the Houston Astros, Pittsburgh Pirates, and Seattle Mariners. They were able to pick up that last game of the series versus the Mariners. Monday's game versus the Twins was rained out, going to be made up on July 19th on a doubleheader. And then they picked up what ended up being the first game of the series, technically game 2, yesterday. So today they got Dylan Cease on the mound. He's 6-3, man. The White Sox still leading the AL Central, about 13 games up on the Twins, G. They 46-32. But here's the biggest news from yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and read the email that they sent out since you were doing injury updates.
I heard about Luis, right? Okay.
2 of them. Jose Abreu was in the lineup yesterday and batted third after
good to see.
Holding our breaths after he took that pitch right on the inside of his knee. So Jose Abreu was back and actually scored. So shout out to our Iron Man on the South Side, who he gets nicked and banged up quite often, but it hasn't been anything too serious to keep him away, which is the best of news from yesterday. But Luis Robert, bro, he's been out with that hamstring tear. We got an update on it yesterday. The White Sox say that while Sox center fielder White Sox center fielder Luis Robert has been medically cleared to increase his level of baseball activities in Arizona. This phase of his rehabilitation process is estimated to take approximately 4 weeks, which at the end of that, he'll be reevaluated and could start a minor league assignment, bruh. So Luis Robert could be 4 weeks from being back on the baseball field for some, whether it be AA, AAA affiliate for the White Sox, bruh. Honestly, in the scheme of this whole season, if they can get Luis Robert back in like 4 or 5, bruh.
I totally think they're gonna be extremely, extremely cautious with that hamstring.
Oh, extremely cautious, but I feel like we're in a spot right now that we weren't sure we were going to be in when he initially got hurt.
Right.
We can see the light at the end of the tunnel now. He's going to be back in the White Sox jersey at the major league level at some point this year. I feel like even if it's, you say mid-August, late August, early September, hopefully a little bit before that. But, man, I feel like that could be the saving grace to a White Sox season where they've defied the odds. And I feel like my emotions have been kind of tied to the fact that this is like, I feel like the way the White Sox are winning games is the equivalent to like the Bears winning games with offense instead of defense. Like, we know the White Sox to be, a powerful offensive team. The pitching is there, but offensively, they're not like a top offensive team in the league. Like, they're not the worst offensive team in the league, but this is a team where the pitching is totally carrying these guys. So if you can come back with Eloy and Luis for the second half of the season, start to get excited about the playoffs again. Now you're looking at Michael Kopech, like, when is he going to be back into the fold? But again, Zeno, you know what I mean? The pitching staff, starting rotation has carried this team. You can say whatever you want about Lucas Giolito. He's put together, I think, 3 straight decent outings. Dylan Cease, 6-3, and I know wins don't mean much, but he's been a very effective pitcher every time out, it seems like, so far this season. We can get some bats going, Gino. It's going to be real on the South Side. This team, without those guys, is good enough to be a contender. I feel like they come back in the American League, they're going to have some people shaking in their boots. So 7 o'clock, first pitch today with Dylan Cease on the mound. Tomorrow they'll wrap it up before they hop on the road through the All-Star break. So tomorrow is the last home game before the All-Star break. So it'll be a 1 p.m. start tomorrow. I will be in the building tonight and tomorrow, Gino. I've been away. I'm so excited to be back doing diamond talk back in front of family members. So on the south side, we're going to see if these guys can keep it rolling, man. They've been looking for some straightening, Gino. It looks like they're finally getting it.
Some straightening.
Some straightening, Gino. They've needed it. So they can pick up these last two before they hop on the road into the All-Star break. We tip our cap to them as they for a very, very probably going to be over 50 win first half of the season.
Well, I don't know what baseball world we're living in when wins don't matter.
As far as the pitchers go,
yeah.
I mean, you know how.
I feel you 100%.
Yeah.
Like this, that'll never sit right with me. Some of these rules and some of these ways that they're trying to change our beautiful game. They're beyond me.
It's like common sense. Your pitcher pitched well enough to hold a lead, and his time in the game. Wins matter. Wins totally matter for your starting pitcher.
Well, we got one team in first place. We got another team that was in first place. They could possibly be in fourth place not by Friday, but by Monday. So we'll see. Cubs in Milwaukee right now. I think the first pitch is in about 10 minutes. So hopefully they can get off the schneid, get a W before a day off tomorrow, and get back into the winning ways heading to Cincinnati.
That would be ideal. Go Cubs.
So with that being said, we got to get our word of the day in, man. And today's word of the day is pretty easy for you guys. I kept it player for y'all today, man. I had one for y'all, but I'm like, you know what? It's hump day. It's Wednesday. I'm going to keep it very easy for my guys today. So
hit us over the head with it, Gino.
Today's word of the day, DJ and T. Fruition.
Oh.
Simple.
Oh, yeah.
Fruition. Fruition. Fruition.
Thank you for wishing me a happy birthday. Did I nail it? I ain't nail it.
Leave it to the West Side's finest, man.
I like that one. I like that one.
I don't even have to get a definition.
Yeah,
DJ just knocked it out for us.
Come on. Yes, sir. That one's out of here. Let's go.
Hey, man, on that note, you have rocked with the bigs. Another edition of On the Soil.
Yes, indeed.
We appreciate all of the family members in the comments, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Facebook. Did I say YouTube? I said YouTube first, huh?
Yep. Real
Shout out to all
members.
our family members out there, man. We don't call you fans, supporters, none of that. That's lame. We call y'all family members. There would be no On the Soil. There would be no the bigs. There would be none of this without the family members. So we appreciate the love and we appreciate you guys more than you know. Shout out to the What's in It for the Black People Media Network, Maze, DJ, the Book of Dawn. I saw Celine back down yesterday. Hey, it's cracking over here, man. So we're going to get out of here. We will see you guys on Friday. But you know how we get down, man. We show love. We spread love. We circulate the dollar with our people. Y'all see me again. I'm rocking the Thoroughbred Legacy. Shout out to my boy Pat.
Shout out to Shake. Shout out to our homegirl Shakia Taylor. We on Friday we'll let you know about a way you can come and rock with the bigs. You know what I mean?
When is that? It's the week after next?
2 weeks, yeah.
Okay.
July 13th.
I got my shirt in the mail too.
Yeah, I got my black and gray one. So shout out to Shakia Taylor who's been on the show. We're going to be doing an event soon. We'll give you the details on Friday, but we want y'all to come out.
So, man, continue to support the network. Continue to support and show love because we all we got, man. We all about ownership and, owning our black voice. So, again, show love, spread love, stay away from them haters, circulate the dollar with your people. But most importantly, always keep it player, man. And in the words of the late, great poet laureate, Chad Butler, known to most of y'all, is Pimp C.
The Pimp.
Get off the boo-boo.
DJ, we out of here, man. Peace.
Hey, y'all, don't forget, it's Wednesday, y'all. Late night show. There'll be no In the Zone, but it will be a Chris the Critic show.
And Week Hope Wednesday will make an appearance right back here to y'all. So I catch y'all later at 6, and then it will be no In the Zone. So the next one will be at 8:30.
So Week Hope Wednesday is 8:30.
It's back, and I got something. I got 2 girls here today. You know I love 2 girls, so I got 2 girls gonna sit in with me today. It's gonna be
DJ
wild.
might need some AA up in here, man. I don't know who's gonna be in here.
This is my counselor.
DJ like it's a one-man job. Ain't no need for the crew.
Ain't no one man either. This is just me. I got it.
You got it.
Oh yeah. 2 I got it. 3 I might need.
You might need some help.
Throw your hat
but
in
a
it,
2-piece spicy, you got it.
Knock it out the park right there.
All right, man.
I dig that, DJ.
All right, love, man. Peace.
It's us.
Media Studio. You're listening to The Bigs with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. Let's begin now.
They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size. It's the bigs, it's the bigs. They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size. It's the bigs, it's the bigs. They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size. It's the bigs, it's the bigs. They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size.
Hey yo, my music is addictive to the user. I let the rush soothe them, they tune in, then I school them. They said, homie, this shit ain't real, it's just illusions used to fool men, women and child to confusion. Start running wild, changing views when niggas think they winning when they losing. Caught up in movements, moving foolish, letting life fool them, betting they life losing, trying to better their life with vice moving, cruising, grabbing clicks and cruising, bagging chicks and dudes off tips with slick maneuvers, turn OGs to broke thieves and hungry crooks. Stand sideways, my way, giving me funny looks. That's why I hide my money in books. They scared to learn, allergic to words, swerving towards murderous curves. In the dark, working the curb. I'ma still shine cause I'm the light and I'ma burn to my purpose to serve. Knowledge is power and ignorance is bliss. It's the wisdom that shines through the visions of the mist. The main challenge is to maintain a balance between your soul and your body and control. It's the science. Knowledge is power and ignorance is bliss. It's the wisdom that shines through the visions of the mist. The main challenge is to maintain a balance between your soul and your body and control. It's the